Hey, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah. Hey, today is Thursday, February 20th, 2020, here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And again, we here live, y'all. We trying to I guess you could just say we trying to bring some clarity to a lot of crazy situations that's going on in the world. Now, I noticed that let me turn this down. I got this on so I can see you all's comment in real time. Y'all, I apologize for being late. I said I was gonna go on at 8:30, but I'm having problems. I got two phones and both of them, neither one of them work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to put this together. But I'm looking at it now. I can see you all's comments in real time. Today we had one of our subscribers bring up a topic that we want to talk about. And it's kind of like it's a real serious subject, but it's kind of deep to me because we had something similar that happened here in Shreveport, Louisiana, 2 years ago with the incident that's now famous around the world, the Facebook Live killing. That happened, believe it or not. I was at my son's school for field day in 2018. I forget what month it was. We was at my son's school for field day. And they actually had to lock my son's school down, meaning we had to stop all the festivities out there for these children at school because 2 blocks up the street, you had somebody streaming live on Facebook. As they were streaming live on Facebook, believe it or not, I'm going to give y'all a little bit more detail behind the story. And I don't want to talk about what happened here in Shreveport because I know the guy who is the one who had killed the lady live on Facebook. I know him personally. And I'm going to be real, he was one of them kind of guys where if you knew him, he would be cool, but at the same time, you know if you get on the wrong side of the dude, you going to have to fight or kill something. He was a cool dude, but I guess you could say he had issues. Now, again, what happened was, I don't want to call no name, but I'm going to have to call the name one time. It was Renita Anunu. Everybody called her Nunu. She was basically playing games with this man and his wife, his fiance, at the time he was with. They was like going back and forth on Facebook. And this dude snapped and shot this lady live on Facebook. Now, let's fast forward to the last few days. Up in Indianapolis, and I want to, I'm looking at some of y'all comments. Good night, St. Thomas. Virgin Island in the house. Hey, what's going on, St. Thomas, Miss Gray? Good to have you here. But I want to read this story. This came out of Indianapolis, where recently you had a woman who basically, I'm going to just keep it real without trying to offend nobody, but basically she caught, in her words, somebody having sex with, a man having sex with another man. She admitted on a live video on Facebook or whatever it was, whatever social media outlet it was, she admitted to saying that this man performed oral sex on her. And she was basically using this man as a trick. Y'all know what I'm saying. Basically, we just keep it real right here. This man was pretty much a trick to her, but from what we are hearing on the video, well, let me read this story to y'all first, and then I'll go back into it. This coming from crimereport.com, crimeonline.com. Woman killed hours after exposing man as gay on Facebook Live report. An Indiana woman who was shot and killed on Tuesday is believed to have live streamed herself exposing a closeted gay man hours before her death. WTTV reported that Jane Walfield, 40 years old, was shot near the intersection of Lafayette Road and West 30th Street in Indianapolis. Witnesses' account indicated that the Camaro that the wounded woman was driving then traveled at speeds of 90 to 100 miles per hour and hit a blue vehicle. Following the multi-car collision, a man in the blue vehicle reportedly walked to the Camaro and discovered Walfield unresponsive inside. The coroner's office has not yet released Walfield's cause of death, meaning it's unclear whether she died as a result of the shooting or the subsequent car crash. According to WISH, speculation has surfaced that her slaying is connected to a video she posted on Facebook hours before her death. As of Thursday, officials haven't publicly linked the Facebook live broadcast to her death. During the 17-minute video, Walfield claims she discovered a male business associate having sex with another man. She recounted telling the men to pay her $5,000 or she would release their names. Later in the video, Walfield told her followers that she feared for her life. Well, why the fuck did you record the video? But anyway, let me go forward. She said if something should happen to her, the men she was trying to expose, not trying, you did, and that's what got you killed. But the man she was trying to expose to extort. Notice this. Now, that's all I'm going to read because this article is pretty much over. Now, here in Shreveport, when we had the Facebook killing, my view on the subject was not that popular amongst the mainstream public because the way they tried to tell the story was this young lady was just an angel and she didn't deserve that. But if you know really what went down, what was going on inside that volatile relationship, because like I said, I knew both of these people, man, and you got to realize when she was streaming live on Facebook, she was already shot. Her cause of death was not getting shot, but she actually bled to death. If you notice, you go back and look at the Facebook live killing that took place in Shreveport. That young lady was on the floor. She had already been shot twice, and she was bleeding to death. And at the end of that video, that's when he shot her and said, game over. Now, in this situation, you have a lady who claims that this was a business associate, but she bragged about him performing oral sex on her. Now, she walks into this man's house. Evidently, if he's in there banging another dude, and she just walks in, she did not, or she knocked, they didn't hear her, but either way it goes, she had the audacity to walk in this man's house. She caught this man doing some nasty, horrible, filthy things, you know what I'm saying, with another man. And at the same time, now she tries to extort this man. And then she gets on Facebook Live and records it. Let me ask y'all a question. At what point do people play a part in their own death? I mean, we have to keep the situation real. Remember I told y'all in the video the other day, it was just about 2 days ago when I told you how they got people seduced and sedated. They seduce you with social media. What you see on your television, your music, everything that you see and hear is designed to seduce you, lull you to sleep through the propaganda of whatever. But now you got a bunch of people who are so mentally detached from reality that they actually live a fake-ass life on social media. And this woman lived a life, like I said, she wasn't no angel. I'm not saying that she should have died. By no means I'm saying that. But she was no angel. She already bragged that she let this man perform oral sex on her. Then she, you know what I'm saying, turned around when she walked in this man's house or wherever it was she walked in and caught them, she basically extorted them people. So she committed a crime right there. Now, I'm going to be real. A lot of these down low brothers need to be exposed, man. I mean, it's bad now. I was in prison facing the life sentence no more than about 6 years ago. And I'm seeing young boys coming to the parish jail. See, here in Louisiana, we don't have county. We have parish jail. I'm seeing young boys coming to the parish jail, ain't even got convicted of their alleged crime, and they're turning to homosexuality because that's a culture that's being pushed up on us. Now, this lady, again, she's basically committing a crime by extorting these men. Then she turns around and gets on Facebook and calls these men out. Let me read y'all comments because I see them coming up. Y'all bear with me here because, like I said, I'm working off 2 cell phones. You know, if I get anyway, we'll talk about that later. But let me see if I can get you all's comments coming up. But anyway, yeah, she basically extorting these men, and then she don't expect no consequences for your action. Y'all excuse my language, but I gotta say it. if you play a fuck game, you're going to win a fuck prize. She played a fuck game and she won the ultimate fuck prize. She lost her life. You know what I'm saying? Now again, these down low dudes need to be exposed because the homosexual agenda is killing our community in the form of not being able to repopulate our numbers, the pedophilia that's going on with, I mean, it's just crazy. But for her to get on Facebook and expose these men the way she did, and then she suffered the consequences the way she did, do y'all think she brought that up on herself? Now we're going to try to read a few of y'all's comments. Y'all bear with me, because we got another story we want to talk about. Hello, brother. Hey, good, man. Good to hear from you again. Thank you for that support. What's up, Rob? Glad to see you. Anthony Watson. Good. Thanks, man, for being here with us. Reginald Cochran, hey, a friend of mine on Facebook. Good evening, my brother. Good evening to you. Peace, my brother, Rod. Yeah, Anthony Watson. Who you talking about? Hey, Anthony, we're talking about this young lady up in Indianapolis who got on Facebook and called herself exposing two men whom she barged in on, evidently uninvited, because the two men were having sex with each other, doing nasty, horrible, terrible things to each other, unnatural and unholy things to each other. She busts up in the room. She catches these two guys doing those filthy, awful things, and then she turns around a few hours later, gets on Facebook Live. The lady's name is Jane Warfield. Again, and it's up in Indianapolis, Indiana. She turns around, gets on Facebook, and exposes these people live on Facebook. She did about a 45-minute to an hour-long video telling what she saw and calling these dudes out. Shortly after that, she was driving somewhere and she wound up getting shot and having a wreck, and she subsequently died. I'm asking the question, at what point do people get off this fake world of social media and join us in reality? Because again, people don't realize that fake ass world of Facebook. Think about it. I do these things, these videos that I'm doing. Most people would say, you know, that well, you do the same thing in Shreveport when you be exposing the politicians and I mean, I'm gonna be real. I look at I do things in a manner where I'm pointing out corruption. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy, but most importantly, I try to help change legislation that benefits the poor. Whereas when I see the rich are robbing from the poor, that's what I do. But this woman literally made a deliberate choice to try to entertain her friends on a fake world of social media that she created for herself, and it got her killed. Same as what happened here in Shreveport. Now, I know my view might not be popular, but the truth is what it is. At what point do you play a part in your own death? At what point do you realize that social media, which is a fake paradigm, a fake world, a fake reality, has consequences in the real life? And she found it out the hard way because, again, she played a crazy game and won the ultimate crazy prize. Now, y'all know us. I don't try to keep y'all too long. We're going to talk about something else that's happening here locally, but it's also happening statewide here in Louisiana and all around the country. And that's police brutality. Now, as y'all know, over the last 2 days, I made 2 different posts on our YouTube channel. Whereas day before yesterday, I think it was Wednesday morning, but before 5 o'clock yesterday morning, we had a Shreveport police officer here to be involved in the shooting, where they instantly arrested that police officer here and charged him with second-degree murder. Now, an update to this whole situation is almost within that same 24 to 48 hours, you had a female police officer here in Shreveport to get arrested for domestic abuse and battery. So that leads us to ask the question, are black people really making it up when we talk about police brutality? When we look at what's going on here in Shreveport, and we can see it with our own eyes, how a corrupt police department, if allowed to run unchecked, will literally become a gang, worse than the people. Hold on, I see somebody just made a comment. But do you think they will literally become a gang worse than the people? Do you happen to Kings Manor? What you mean? Do I happen to go over to Kings Manor sometime? You talking about which one over on the Cooper Road? There's one on the Cooper Road and there's one over there in Cedar Grove. I mean, when I'm up there on the Cooper Road, I go by there a lot because I got family around there. But oh yeah. Well, you talking about what happened here in Shreveport, my brother? Brother Anthony Watson say, did that happen in Kings Manor? Yeah, it happened somewhere over there. Over there toward Bel Air, somewhere over in that area over there by Bel Air. When, again, I ain't gonna call no name, but when old boy shot old girl live on Facebook, while that was going on right up here, right up the street, cause that's only like about 6 blocks from where I'm at, right up the street, we was put on lockdown because of that shooting that took place live on Facebook. So yeah, I mean, and even in that situation, we understand that both parties have a part in that situation. He was dead wrong for shooting her. You see what I'm saying? But she was playing games with this man in real life and put it out there on Facebook. Remember when he told her, so you want to be famous? I'm going to make you famous today. And in death, she has become more famous than she was in life because he killed her live on Facebook. And again, this lady here just the day before yesterday in Indianapolis is another example of how people get it twisted. Oh, you from Cedar Grove, Anthony, brother? Hey, brother Anthony, we ought to hook up, man, because I ain't too far from Cedar Grove. I ain't gonna put out my location on Facebook. On social media. But yeah, we can hook up. Get in touch with me through Facebook inbox, and we can hook up, man. You know what I'm saying? Try to make a difference. But yeah, this young lady played a game with her life and lost. And now again, on this second story we want to talk about before we go is how these police are going. They're out of control. And one of the main reasons why I believe that they're out of control, and we know this from what's going on in Shreveport, a lot of these police are either on antidepressants, steroids, drugs, and alcohol. Straight up. Because again, we had 3 police last year got busted in a ring where they was buying steroids and selling them. Literally, 3 Shreveport police officers got caught. I think it was in last June, somewhere there. They got arrested for selling steroids. Then less than 2 months from that, you had another Shreveport police officer to get arrested because he had marijuana. He was off duty and they caught him with marijuana and a pistol. You see what I'm saying? Which if it would have been anybody else, they would have been facing the trigger lock law, because here in Louisiana, you got a law called a trigger lock, whereas I don't know if it's federal, but we know under state law, if you get caught with any drugs and a firearm, that automatically enhances it to what's called a trigger lock. And that means that's a mandatory minimum of 10 years in prison if convicted. So you had this police officer to get caught with marijuana and a pistol. Then, like I say, just in the last 48 hours, we had 2 police officers to get arrested for violent crime. One of them is arrested right now, facing a $250,000 bond for attempted second-degree murder, right here in Shreveport. These police are off the chain because, again, in the last year, a year long, 5 people have died at the hands of Shreveport police. Remember, it went nationwide where that one white police officer came and kicked that man in the face. The dude was already on the ground. The police officer came straight out the car and kicked this man in the face. Give y'all some more game. I don't know if you all seen the Mother's Day melee. It went on World Star. It went viral all around the country. And we've had 2 police officers to get fired here last year because of that. And y'all know what? All that started right here in my house. Be honest, it was a crazy situation that day. It was Mother's Day last year, May 12th. And a female friend of mine, we had a disagreement. Now, there was no fighting. Voices got raised and everything got heated. I left my house 3 times trying to give her a chance, to figure out what she was going to do, and if possible, just go and leave. Do you realize my neighbors heard the loud voices? They they called the police. When the police came, this one black female officer jumped out the truck, out of her cruiser, and slipped down in the mud. Now this is what happened. When she slipped in the mud, she got on her, first thing she said, oh yeah, somebody finna go to jail. Soon as she got on her walkie-talkie, she made an officer down call. Do y'all realize they sent 50 units here on my street in front of my house to the wrong house across the street and beat up a bunch of elderly people? This one here went nationwide too. Man, Shreveport is ratchet around here, and sad to say, I know a lot of the ratchet people, and I know a lot of the ratchet people around here that do some of the ratchet shit. But that incident happened at my house, where the Shreveport Police Department ran to the wrong house, almost 50-something deep, and beat up a whole family. And now they're facing criminal charges. A couple of them got criminal charges for that. So again, we're going to say that it ain't just Shreveport, man. These police are out of control because a lot of them are on drugs. Let me show y'all what's going on. They're coming back from these wars in a lot of cases. So a lot of them are ex-military. You know what I'm saying? Or they were raised up, bullied, or picked on, or just felt like they was misfits. And now they're looking for redemption. But in most cases, again, it's about the drugs that these police are on. And if you don't think the police are putting drugs in your street, you might need to rethink reality, because there's no way in a place like Chicago, where you got the strictest gun laws on the books in America, and all these killings are going on, unless the police are putting the guns and the dope on the street that they're killing each other behind. You think I'm lying? Look what your government does in other countries, like in Mexico. Look at the Iran-Contra. Your government has a history of buying and selling drugs and weapons. And what they're doing, they're putting the drugs and guns on our streets. At the same time, they're putting a bunch of mentally unstable cops in a lot of cases, because half of them on antidepressants or steroids, or they just flat out alcoholics. A lot of cops smoke more weed than we do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cops do cocaine, pop pills. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people on your streets with guns and badges. And we see in the last 2 days what they have done here in Shreveport, where you have 2 to get arrested and charged with violent crimes against civilians, even though they were off duty at the time they committed these crimes. So that means the culture is so violent here in our Shreveport Police Department that they doing so much shit out there on the streets while they're on duty. They feel that they can come and continue to perpetuate that bully gang culture. Because again, the police ain't nothing but a gang. They worse than the Crips and Bloods around here. For real. And it's like they're getting away with a lot of stuff, behind the scenes when they're in their uniform. But these 2 cases here, these police officers were off duty. And if y'all go to follow us on Facebook, on our Facebook page, the link to our Facebook page is in the description section. You'll see the article where we posted about these 2 incidents with the Shreveport Police Department. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. But yeah, Anthony, we gonna get together, man. Hit me up on Facebook. You follow us on Facebook, don't you? If you follow us on Facebook, you know how to get in touch with me here. Because if you live, like I say, you live right up that way. You know what I'm saying? So we should hook up, my brother. Thank you for all the support. But again, man, we're going to end this video. We don't like to keep y'all too long, because I'm the kind of person, if there's nothing really to talk about, why try to be seen? And if that young lady up in Indianapolis and the young lady here in Shreveport would have realized that if you're not on trying to educate or enlighten somebody, or just put some positive energy out there, hell, do a cooking video live on Facebook. Show us you can fucking cook. You know what I'm saying? Show us, instead of showing us videos of your little 8, 9-year-old daughters twerking, or with these little, I call them little baby stripper suits on. Show us your kid doing math problems or some shit like that. But why is it we seeing these black women getting on Facebook, trying to get Facebook fame, going live, doing some dumb shit, and then getting murdered? And then everybody's supposed to feel sorry, when in reality, yeah, you have empathy, but no sympathy. You brought that on yourself. Social media is getting a lot of people, just knocked off around here, because people, again, are seduced and sedated. People are sedated to the point that they're so high that they get on social media trying to live an alternative life or trying to get revenge, and don't realize that, again, social media is a fake reality. It's a false reality. And you can get on Facebook and create whatever fucking character or avatar that you want to be, that you always wanted to be, but you never made it to be that in life. Well, you can be that shit on Facebook. But you got to realize on Facebook, that fake ass world that you chose for yourself still have consequences in the real life. Think about it. People can't even get jobs now because of stuff that they post on Facebook. And people are not putting two and two together, especially evidently black women. Because we're steadily seeing this ain't the first two cases where black women use Facebook as a means to facilitate their own death. And I'm not just saying black women only do it, but we know two national cases now, cases that went national in just the last 2 years, where these black women, you're right, my brother, thank you, my brother, but we've seen two cases where black women have facilitated their own death. And now, their families are left to have GoFundMes, you know what I'm saying, to bury them. Again, in this latest case, this young lady barged in on these two nasty dudes, doing what nasty dudes do. And now she's trying to blackmail them. She not ready. I'm not trying to degrade her memory or put her down, but she not ready. Told her she was a hoe because she let the dude perform oral sex on her for money. She bragged about it in a video. And then when she caught them, she committed another crime. Because the first crime was prostitution. She admitted to it. She said, I let him do this, get head, give me some head, 4, 5 months, whatever, not trying to get too graphic. But yeah, she admitted to letting him lick her, for some cash. He licked her ass for some cash. So that's prostitution. Then she turns around and admitted that when she caught them doing sodomy, which they committed a crime by doing sodomy, she tried to extort them. And when they didn't give her the $5,000 that she asked them for, she went on Facebook Live and exposed these people. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, you know what I'm saying, you again committed another crime because you committed a break-in and entry, evidently. Because guess what? If them two dudes were doing nasty dude stuff to each other, they didn't hear you come in and catch them. That means you barged in on them. So now there's prostitution, breaking and entry, then extortion. And then, you know what I'm saying, you call this man's name out live on Facebook like there was not going to be consequences. Again, people are letting this fake-ass world of social media, trying to get that social media fame, and they getting killed behind it. Now, we do what we do here at the Real New Behind News because it's to educate and inform and bring information. And the reason why we're talking about this story is because, again, Miss Melanated Misfit, one of our subscribers, asked us to talk about it. And I didn't really think about it until after I started, looking into the story. It's pretty much exactly what happened here in Shreveport 2 years ago when the Facebook Live killer killed his girlfriend. I don't even like calling him like that because, again, that was my boy. But when that lady got killed here in Shreveport live on Facebook, it's pretty much the same thing. Stop playing games, man. Life is real. Now, y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about, man? Before I was going to end this video because it's time for me to get my medication. I still got to get my medication right, man. It be having me spaced out a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I got to get that taken care of. But if y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about, any questions y'all want to ask me, man, I'll hang around for another 2 or 3 minutes. But it's crazy what's going on, man. How people, again, for them 40 minutes of 10, 15, 20 likes. I haven't seen the video on her Facebook page. But to get 15, 16, maybe she might have got 100 people looking at her video live. And the more she had people coming onto her live, you can rest assured that made her feel more proud, made her feel more special. So now she getting even bolder, going harder in the paint. You know what I'm saying? With each view that's coming up live on Facebook, showing that somebody has joined in. And with each laughy little smiley face, or with each thumbs up, with each shock face, she's feeling bolder and bolder. Now she feels like she's a superstar, and ain't but 100 people out of 100 people on this earth out of 7 billion is watching her live on Facebook. And she's thinking that she's a superstar, so now she's bold enough to call these men out and push the envelope even further. You know what I'm saying? Now she done pushed the envelope so far that these dudes, from what we're hearing again, allegedly followed her somewhere, got into a shootout with, ain't no shootout, but shot at her. Because remember, she said she had a gun in her car. She said she had a gun in her car when she walked in there illegally on them dudes. So now she's driving. Whoever it was saw that video whoever was in that video saw it, and they said they came themselves or they sent some goon. And make a long story short, she's dead. Again, you play fake ass games on this fake world of social media, you're gonna win real life prizes. And most times, man, it's not gonna be good, bro. Play a crazy game, you win a crazy prize. Hey, we thank y'all, man, for all the y'all in the chat. Please hit the like and thumbs up. Thank you, man. Hey, and if y'all could share these videos, man, maybe we can get our subscribers up to the point, man. Again, we trying to get to the point where YouTube will help us monetize these videos. But until then, man, we just gonna do what we do. We blessed to be able to go live right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they stopped us from going live. Also, we noticed that a lot of you all telling us that you all don't get the notifications when we do the videos. A lot of times, you have to make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. Whereas every time we do a video, and again, we're going to try to do one at least 2 a day, at least 1 a day. But we're going to try to push for 2, because right now the work is slow as heck around here with all the rain. So I got a lot of extra time. And then, too, I'm trying to get my health back together. So, yeah, y'all share these videos, man. Tell your family and friends about it. Again, what we try to do, man, is just put different views out there than what we're being pushed to believe by the propaganda of the mainstream media, because they would try to paint these ladies. Because I noticed, again, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go. But in the case of the young lady who was murdered here live on Facebook here in Shreveport, they did a expose on her. I forget, it wasn't the Discovery Channel, I think it was the Oxygen Channel, whatever, one of these major women channels. And I'm trying to figure out who the hell was they talking about in that video, in that documentary, because that wasn't how that shit happened. This woman wasn't as innocent as they would try to portray her. Yeah, she loved her kids. She was a hustler. But guess what? She was also involved in a lifestyle that they didn't tell you about on the TV. They try to paint shit out, to gather ratings, to make you feel sympathetic. But y'all don't know ID investigations exactly. And again, man, I'm trying not to call out no name, because we know them people. Like I said, I knew Jay, from over on that way, over there in the bottoms, you know what I'm saying? And he was a cool dude, but he one of them dudes, not to play with him, man. And she played a game with that boy and brought something up on herself that she was not expecting. And it was sad and tragic. But that's not the way it happened that they showed you on ID. And I ain't going to say no more, because, again, I know them people. And shit, I might have to deal with some of them people just by what I said. But the truth is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And folk were cool. He was a cool dude. But she pushed him to a point, man. And I'm not justifying what he did by no means. But you play games. I'm going to be real. You got a lot of men, bro, who are are tough lions, man. I'm talking about straight gorillas, straight warriors. You know, can't nobody on the planet defeat them in a battle. But a woman will take your heart, man. A woman will wrap your mind around her finger. And they don't realize some of these men are not as strong mentally. Nowhere near as strong as they are physically. You might be a beast physically, but mentally, man, you're not as strong. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. These women play games, and men play games with women too. Because guess what? That police officer come to find out, the female police officer who got arrested, I think it was yesterday, she was, from what we hear, she beat her man up. Now let me show you how the game goes. Now she's a police officer. She's whooping her man's ass. And guess what? He can't do nothing about it. Because if he hits her back, guess what she gonna do? She gonna call her fellow police boys, her gang. She gonna call her gang members, the police, and they gonna come whoop his ass and take him to jail. That's literally pretty much what went on with the female police officer who got fired here the other day. The other dude who shot the dude, the police who shot the boy Wednesday morning, he basically it was a fact that he gets off work or whatever, he goes hanging out over there by Southwood, get drunk, and somehow some behind a girl came up on him, man, and next thing you know, he winds up shooting this dude behind some coochie. You know, these police here are off the chain. But anyway, y'all, I gotta get ready to go. I thank y'all for y'all support, man. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna come back tomorrow. And in the meantime, again, drop your comments. Tell us what we're doing wrong on these videos and tell us what we're doing right. I'd rather hear the wrong so we can make a correction. You know what I'm saying? But tell us, tell us what y'all think we can do to make this show better. Until then, man, hey, y'all be blessed.